starting the process of getting together my sweatshirt. So I decided I wanted to do like a quilt batting in the middle of it so that it could be nice and thick, nice and cozy. So right now what I'm doing is just cutting out that cotton batting to the size of all my pieces. As you can see, it is not an exact science. I just kind of go with the general shape of things. I got this quilt batting actually at an estate sale in my neighborhood back at home. This woman was moving out of her house who used to be like a big quilter. So I got this whole roll of quilt batting, probably like 3 yards of it, probably more like 2 yards, but whole big thing of quilt batting for only $2. So I've had this for a while. I've just never used it, but finally breaking it out for this sweatshirt. I think I'm only gonna do the quilt batting on the hood and the body of the sweatshirt. I don't think I'm gonna do it on the sleeves or on the pocket of it. I think I might just leave that kind of plain and simple. We'll see how much quilt batting we have left. I definitely want the arms to be a little bit more like kind of flowy, so I'm not going to do those so much, but I think the hood and the body of the sweatshirt is the most important part. This fits pretty nicely in there, doesn't it? Sadly, I don't get to use my serger for this project. I think this fabric is a little too thick for it. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to use my standard Singer heavy duty, which she is tried and true, so can't really complain, but I'm so excited to use my serger. I've been loving it so much lately, so sadly can't use that for this project. So all I'm gonna do next is pin the fabric on the outside of the quilt batting, and then I'll just do an outside stitch, like just kind of on the border of all of it before I go ahead and do any of the quilting stitches. And for the quilting, I normally just kind of do it by my eye, just kind of do here or there. Might make it look a little bit chaotic, but normally works for me. I sometimes draw it out before I, like with just a piece of like, you know, tailor's chalk or a real pen or anything, but today I think I might just kind of let it go with the flow. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin all these with the fabric the right side out. Good morning, welcome back. I obviously got started on my sweatshirt last night, but I thought I'd give you a full recap of this week's, or a full preview, I guess I should say, of this week's sewing activities. Lots on the plate. I'm so excited about all the projects I have coming up, but I thought I'd give you a little peek about what's going on. So I have done all the quilting for my sweatshirt. So this is the pocket. I'm doing it's like a muslin cotton maroon, and then more of like a cotton wool knit, but kind of like sweater material. It's definitely knit, but I'm doing that, and then the maroon will be the lining for the sweatshirt. However, for the hood and the front and the back of the sweatshirt and the pocket, I'm doing a cotton batting, why is it hard to say, lining. So it'll be a little extra thicker, warmer, comfier, more structured. So I finished doing that last night. So all I have to do is put it all together today, which thank God, that's like the most fun part. You can kind of like see the final product. I should be able to finish that tonight. So I'm super excited to work on that after work later. Just on my lunch break right now. But anyway, this project will be number 1 on the list. I have this to do later today. And then, yeah, just pretty much put it all together. And then next, when I went to Mood over the weekend, I got lovely pattern paper, as well as 2 packs, which is 6 yards of, it was $9 for 3 yards. So I got 2 of them of this cotton muslin. So for those who don't know, basically you normally would make your first, if you're trying to make a pattern or make, you know, something for a even pattern for just personal use, you would make it first in this cotton muslin, which is just like really cheap fabric. You know, you're not gonna have to make any mistakes on like real nice fabric that it's expensive or that you want to make sure you savor for something. So this is a good fabric that pretty much is used so that you get the shape down exactly. So what you'll do is you'll draw it out on the pattern paper, then use the pattern paper to cut out your muslin, sew all the muslin together, like the muslin pieces into your actual garment, and then you look at the garment and you're like, oh, I want the shoulder to actually be a lot smaller, or the sleeve needs to, you know, be a bunch shorter, or the buttons should go 2 inches up, whatever. You'd mark that on your muslin, take your whole garment apart, and then rearrange your pattern, like cut or add onto your pattern pieces. Then, you know, readjust your cotton muslin if you can do that with the pieces that you already cut out, or new pieces, and then do that all again until it's perfect. So pretty much it's back and forth and trial and error. And, you know, you really can't tell exactly how something's gonna look until you put it all together. Of course, you can pretty much picture it in your mind, but sometimes 1 or 2 inches here or there really makes all the difference. So that is where the cotton muslin comes in. So if you remember that dress that I made a little while ago, let me grab that. This dress that I made, I absolutely love it and how it turned out. But there were definitely a lot of things I wanted to change about it. And I think this I want to be like one of my first patterns, because I think it is really cute and a pattern for myself. It doesn't need to be, you know, something I'm necessarily selling anytime soon. But anyway, that's what I want to cut out of the cotton muslin and work on. So I think I might try to do this later tonight if I have time. Cut out the pattern paper, start doing that, and then work on the muslin. So that's a second project. And then I'm not sure what I want to make out of these yet, so I need to kind of take my time, but I have both gray and red sweatshirty material. Now they're definitely like a little thinner than your average sweatshirt, but you know, I don't know if you can see that, but they're just so comfy. And I think either like a pair of pants or maybe like a comfy dress could be really fun. So that I could even wear it into the, you know, spring and summer as well. But I have gray and red. So I want to figure out, that's what I want to kind of plan next, is what I want to make with these. I have a ton of ideas, and I normally have like a Pinterest board of things that I want to make in the future. So I'll be able to go there and be like, oh my gosh, this would be so cute made out of that, you know, and kind of go from there. But I'm thinking I want to do something with my serger with these, since they're nice and stretchy knits, to make it, you know, something super fabric, this kind of jersey material. Normally best with the serger. And then lastly, I was so excited. Everyone loved a video I posted on how to draft your own pattern to make a hoodie. And I think it's something that is really accessible to people. Not everybody knows how to use a pattern themselves, or, you know, has the capabilities to print out a pattern, or it just doesn't work for everyone. So I think people really related to the idea of just using their own measurements and kind of going with the flow a little bit. I am normally type A in about every single aspect of my life, but for some reason sewing patterns, I'm definitely type B. So I want to make another video. I might try to do it tomorrow, about, I'm going to use this fabric, which is, I thrifted this a little while back. But it's just like, if you go really close to it, it's like a brown and red and yellow. But if you kind of look from it from far away, it's like a little bit red, a little bit brown. But I want to show how to make a very simple tank top out of just a few measurements. And I think that would be something that would be really easy for people to make. And those who are starting to sew too could definitely use that as a beginner project. So that's something I want to get started on too. Maybe, I'm hoping tomorrow. I'll be able to do it. But yeah, we'll see. So that sounded like actually a lot, but those are my couple projects. And yeah, we'll see what we get up to for the whole week. This is the most boring and worst part of any sewing job, is filling all the bobbins before you start. I know this is going to be a thread heavy one, especially because I'm quilting some of it. I'm just going to use a lot of thread. So I need to make sure I fill up a bunch. I hate when you're like, it's like 2 a.m. and you're almost finished a project and then your bobbin runs out and you have to sit there and like contemplate your whole entire life while you spend like 30 seconds filling up the bobbin. What happened to anyone else? Just me? 3 down, 2 to go. Okay, so like, sue me. It's 12:15 at night and I'm just finished quilting, but I had to try it on. This is what the sweatshirt will kind of look like. I just finished quilting it. It's so comfy cozy. Just to give you a little picture, I'm gonna have this in the middle here as my little pocket. I bet no one's shocked that it's 12:15 at night and I'm just sewing away, but I had to. I'm so excited. But I got everything quilted, so tomorrow I can just assemble and do the final touches. So I think I'll finish it tomorrow, which is so exciting. Anyways, I really have to go to bed. Good night. Okay, so we're getting somewhere on the sweatshirt, majorly. I am doing the major construction of it right now. And this is what it looks like on the inside. I love this. I think it's gonna be very comfortable because this is really soft, where the outside is more like, you know, knit and maybe a tad bit more itchy, just like wool fabric, so it's not going to be so soft. But anyway, just sewed the arms on. Big news of the day. Okay, so this is what the arms look like all sewn on. I think it's going to be the perfect boxy oversized fit. Oh, I think it's actually just going to be so cute. So now I'm going to do the hood, and honestly, like, there's not much more to do. I mean, of course, there's like the fine tuning of everything, which honestly the details always take longer than you think. Like, I feel like I always get 90% there. I'm gonna be like 95% there, and then the last 5% takes me longer than the whole 95% did. Does that make sense? I'm gonna sew the hood on it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so maybe the least fun part. Oddly kind of satisfying, but you know, not maybe the most fun, is making all of the bias tape or binding, whatever you prefer to call it. I don't know how to make it stop doing that. Whoops. I have to make all this binding. Also, I ordered this lovely over-the-door ironing board, which I really, really like, but it didn't come with anything that holds this side up. Like, if I take that chair away, it goes down about another foot, which like just doesn't make sense to me. I don't really know what's going on there, but so I just put this chair under it, but I bet you there's probably a better way to do it. A tip, if you want to know how to make your own binding, you just cut long strips like this. And I know some people have like a handy dandy way to do it kind of quicker, but the best way I've found to do it is first fold it in half and iron that down, and then fold those halves in half again. Hello there. Yes, I'm in back on my floor in my heart jammies for Valentine's Day festivity. I am a psychopath and it's 11:13 at night, but I am very excited and I want to make this first draft of this pattern tomorrow. So I know the worst thing that I like to do is to cut out the pattern pieces, like the fabric. And I hate, like, I feel like I don't start projects so I don't feel like cutting out the pattern pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut them out tonight so that I don't even have to worry about that tomorrow and I can just sew. And yeah, just make my life a little easier. I, as you can see, am cutting it out of this just like plain old cotton muslin fabric. I am trying to be a little bit more intentional and maybe professional about making some of my patterns. I'm starting to get to the point where I want to make things replicable. So I want to try to make these patterns with cotton muslin and then, you know, tweak them and see what I like and don't like and go from there. But this pattern I want to make with this like, I want to make with this like stretchy, like a knit cotton jersey material. So making it with this cotton muslin is like good to see general shape of things, but like the whole point of it is that it's gonna stretch. Oh my god, I can't say. Is that it's the knit fabric is gonna be able to stretch, you know? So I don't know if it'll be an exact science that I use muslin for this particular thing. But anywho, so basically for those who don't know, what I'll do is I cut out my measurements, and then I used a ruler and cut this out on pattern paper, what my designs were. And now I'm cutting out cotton muslin. This is like 3 yards for like $9, so like $3 a yard, which is kind of unheard of in fabric land. So like it's just super cheap fabric, so it doesn't really matter if you know, because I'm gonna sew something out of this. So just for specifics, this was $3 a yard, and the fabric that I'm going to use for the final product, it was like $14 a yard. So it's way more expensive, so that's why he used this. So what I'm cutting out is a dress, shocker, and this is going to be the top, just like I'm not doing any sleeves. I kind of just want it to be like a tank top, but like high neck, maybe even a little more like straight across. And then it goes to like kind of the thinnest part of the waist, and it's just like tight all the way through, and then just flares out to a nice and flowy skirt. So that's what I'm cutting out now. But my problem is that it, you know, as I mentioned, it is going to be tight. We shall see. But that's what I'm doing at 11:18 on a Wednesday night. So I just finished my tank top, which I don't know if you can see me here. I love the way it turned out. I do have a strap bra on. Sue me, I didn't feel like taking it off. Anywho, this is the tank top. I think the next time I make it, which I already drafted a pattern for me to do it again, because I want to change a few things. I'll make the straps longer, this a little bit smaller, and then I want to make this a little bit shorter, just so that it's a little bit cuter. But I do like the way it turned out. It's very comfortable, and I do think I'll get a lot of use out of it. I don't think I'd normally wear it with black jeans just because it's a little bit dressy, but that's what I had on. So it's too lazy to change them. This is my tank top. I'll update with my next one, but this was a super easy project. I think if I wasn't filming it and like trying to tell people how I made it, I could probably make it in like 30 minutes. So that's a win. Okay, and then here is the final sweatshirt that I made. It ended up coming out so cute. I love the way that it looks in the end. It may be the comfiest thing ever. It really is like a cozy hoodie, like nap on your couch type of vibe. The hood is like, for my first time making a hood, not too bad. Yeah, the hood looks pretty good, like a pretty good size. And then, yeah, I just like the way everything lays a lot. I love the border that I did with this. I think that actually turned out looking really cute. I wasn't actually going to add that kind of like binding until towards the end. So I think I'm really glad that I added that. But yeah, it's way warmer. I think it's probably just because I like quilted it and it's extra lined. But it is really super warm and cozy. So I'm definitely wearing this a lot this winter. Yeah, I definitely think I'd like to make another one of these. I think I would try to make it out of actual sweatshirt material and kind of see how that lays. I do have sweatshirt material that I bought a little while ago, so maybe I'll try to do that with the sweatshirt material. Honestly, I always just get so like sidetracked with different projects. Like I made this and I'm like, cool, what's next? Like you know what I mean? Like I don't want to dwell on this for too long. So anyway, I might try to do this again, but maybe not. I love the way this one came out, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.